Hey there, and welcome to a deep dive. One that I think is going to take us right into the heart of the aviation world. You know all those questions you've always had about what really goes on in the cockpit?
Yeah.
Well, today we're getting answers, and not just any answers.
Right.
We're tapping into the expertise of Captain James, a true veteran of the skies.
He's not just a pilot, though. He's also an author and a podcaster, too, sharing his decades of experience in a way that's both practical and insightful.
We've got a book review that breaks down the Professional Airline Pilot series, and we'll also be looking at his SKYCALL podcast on YouTube.
Awesome.
What I find fascinating is this isn't just for aspiring pilots.
Yeah.
Even if you've never even considered a career in aviation, Captain James's journey offers valuable lessons about leadership, handling pressure, and carving your own path to success in a demanding field.
Kind of a flight plan for any ambition, right?
Exactly. And his career path is anything but ordinary. We're talking about a pilot who started in the Canadian Air Force flying CP-140 Auroras.
Those are designed for anti-submarine warfare, so you can imagine the level of skill and precision required.
Talk about high stakes.
Yeah.
But he didn't stay there. He went on to become a charter pilot on the A320, then a captain in Vietnam, and after that, spent 15 years with Dragonair in Hong Kong, flying both the A330 and the A3201.
And just when you think that's impressive enough, he's been piloting Boeing aircraft across Asia more recently.
Wow.
For someone interested in aviation, this kind of diverse background is gold.
Yeah.
It's not just about mastering one aircraft or one type of flying. It's about adaptability, problem solving in different environments, and a depth of understanding that you just don't get from a simulator alone.
Okay, so he's clearly got the experience, but what sets Captain James apart is his dedication to sharing that knowledge with others. It's almost like he's paying it forward.
Yeah.
The Professional Airline Pilot series is a great example of that.
It's more than just sharing, though.
Yeah.
He's raising the bar for the entire industry, ensuring that future pilots are equipped with the knowledge and skills they need to excel. One book, in particular, the Airline Command Preparation Course, stood out to me. It's specifically designed for pilots transitioning into leadership roles.
So not just flying the plane anymore, but leading the whole crew. That's a whole other level of responsibility.
Absolutely. And this book breaks it down into 4 core areas.
Okay.
The first is technical and SOP knowledge, along with pilot skills. It might sound basic, but he emphasizes going beyond just knowing the procedures and systems.
So what makes his approach different? We're talking about experienced pilots here, folks who already know how to fly.
It's about deep understanding, anticipating challenges, and developing the kind of expertise that allows you to make split-second decisions when it matters most. He also delves into standard operating procedures, SOPs, which are essentially the rule book for pilots, ensuring consistent and safe operations.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've got the technical side covered, but then there's the whole human element. You're not just flying solo anymore, you're leading a team.
Right, which brings us to the second area, normal operations. This is where Captain James focuses on the skills you need to manage a crew effectively, maintain situational awareness throughout a routine flight, and ensure everyone's adhering to those all-important protocols.
It sounds like he's emphasizing the importance of being a leader who fosters a culture of safety and teamwork. But let's face it, aviation is a high-pressure environment.
Right.
Things don't always go as planned, and that's where things get really interesting.
Exactly. The third area he covers is abnormal operations, or as we like to call them, emergencies.
Right.
Captain James provides a really unique framework for handling these situations. And what I found particularly useful was his emphasis on rapid decision-making and clear communication under pressure.
So not just knowing what to do, but being able to think clearly and communicate effectively when the adrenaline is pumping and lives are potentially at stake.
Precisely. He even uses specific scenarios, almost like case studies, to illustrate his points. It's not just theory, it's practical application.
That's where his experience really shines through, I bet. It's one thing to read about emergencies, but it's another to have lived through them and learned from those experiences. Now, we can't talk about teamwork in aviation without mentioning CRM.
Right, and that's the fourth core area Captain James covers, CRM and communications as a captain. Crew Resource Management, or CRM, is all about utilizing the skills and perspectives of your entire crew to enhance safety and efficiency. And it's not just about preventing major incidents. It's about creating a culture where everyone feels comfortable speaking up, sharing their observations, and potentially averting even minor issues before they escalate.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these 4 areas he focuses on are all interconnected. You need the technical knowledge, the leadership skills to manage your crew, the ability to handle emergencies effectively, and that underlying foundation of CRM to tie it all together.
Exactly. And what I appreciate about Captain James's approach is that he emphasizes that CRM isn't just a set of rules, it's a philosophy, a way of thinking. It's about recognizing that everyone on the flight deck has a role to play and that clear, open communication is vital. I've seen firsthand how a breakdown in communication can turn a routine situation into a potential disaster.
Oh, do tell. I'm always fascinated by these real-world examples. What happened?
Well, let's just say there was an incident involving a minor hydraulic issue that should have been easily resolved, but because of a miscommunication between the pilot and the first officer.
Hold that thought. It looks like we're just about out of time for this part of the deep dive. We'll pick up right where we left off in part 2.
We'll delve deeper into that story and explore Captain James's insights on acing the airline interview process.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Calling all aspiring pilots and aviation enthusiasts. Want to navigate the skies with confidence and expertise? Look no further than Captain James's Professional Airline Pilot series and his SKYCALL YouTube podcast. Captain James's decades of experience flying a variety of aircraft, including the Airbus A320 and 330 and Boeing 737 and 777 across continents, shines through in his work, offering practical advice and insightful anecdotes. His books, available on Amazon Kindle, provide comprehensive guidance for every stage of a pilot's journey. Preparing for your airline command? Airline Command Preparation Course covers everything from technical knowledge and standard operating procedures to managing flight crews and handling emergencies. Nervous about the interview process? Airline Pilot Interview Manual demystifies the experience, providing practical tips and real-world scenarios to help you land your dream job. Craving in-depth technical knowledge? James's aircraft-specific books, featuring 600 technical questions on each aircraft, will make you an expert on your chosen plane. James's SKYCALL YouTube podcast expands on these themes, offering a dynamic learning experience. You'll master the art of command, ace the interview, and conquer emergencies with his expert insights. He also provides behind-the-scenes perspectives on airline operations and answers your burning questions about the world of aviation. Whether you're just starting your aviation journey or looking to advance your career, Captain James's resources are your ultimate guide to soaring to new heights. The link to his Kindle books are provided in the description below.
You were saying?
Oh, right. That communication breakdown in the cockpit.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was during a fairly routine flight, and a minor hydraulic issue cropped up. Nothing major, but it required some attention. The pilot, very experienced, started going through the checklist. But he didn't clearly communicate what he was doing to the first officer.
I can see where this is going.
The first officer, a bit less experienced, saw the pilot's actions and misinterpreted them. He thought a different problem was developing, one that required a different, more immediate response.
Oh, no.
So he took action based on his assumption.
Oh, no. That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It could have been, but thankfully, because they were both well-trained, they were able to catch the miscommunication and correct course before things got out of hand. However, the incident highlighted how even a seemingly minor breakdown in communication can snowball into a much bigger problem.
Right.
Especially in an environment like a cockpit where split-second decisions are often required.
It really underscores the importance of those CRM principles Captain James emphasizes. Clear communication, shared situational awareness, and a willingness to speak up, even if you're the less experienced member of the crew.
Exactly. But let's move on to another crucial resource Captain James provides. He's got this fantastic Airline Pilot Interview Manual.
Okay.
I know some of our listeners might be thinking, wait, I thought this wasn't just for aspiring pilots, and you're right, it's not.
But even if you're not looking to become a pilot, this manual offers some really valuable insights into how to prepare for any high-stakes interview.
Landing a job as a pilot is incredibly competitive these days. It's not enough to be a good pilot. You have to be able to articulate your skills, your experience, and your passion for aviation in a way that stands out from the crowd.
So what makes this manual so different from any other interview prep guide out there? Don't they all pretty much cover the same basic stuff?
Sure, you'll find the usual tips on crafting your resume and answering common interview questions. But Captain James goes deeper. He provides specific examples of technical questions you might encounter, questions that really test your knowledge of aircraft systems, regulations, and emergency procedures. He doesn't just tell you what to say, he explains why it matters.
It's like having a personal coach guiding you through the entire process. He's been on both sides of the interview table, so he understands what interviewers are looking for and, more importantly, what mistakes candidates often make.
That insider perspective is invaluable. He also delves into those tricky behavioral questions that are designed to assess your judgment, your decision-making process, and your ability to handle pressure.
Okay, so he's got the technical stuff covered, but what about those soft skills? Leadership, communication, teamwork, all those qualities that are crucial in a cockpit environment.
That's where Captain James's expertise really shines through. He provides specific example of how to showcase those skills during the interview process. He emphasizes the importance of using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
Ah, the STAR method, a classic interviewing technique. It helps you structure your answers in a way that clearly demonstrates your skills and experience. But I'm curious, how does he tie those leadership and communication skills back to his own career journey? Show how he's actually applied those principles in real-world situations.
That's what makes this manual so engaging. He doesn't just offer generic advice. He weaves in anecdotes and examples from his own career, showing how he's navigated challenging situations, made tough decisions, and learned from his mistakes.
That's got to be incredibly valuable for aspiring pilots. It's one thing to read about leadership in a textbook, but it's another to hear from someone who's been there, done that, and can share those real-world lessons.
And for those of us who aren't aspiring pilots, those stories offer a glimpse into the world of aviation, a world that most of us only experience as passengers. We get to see what goes on behind the scenes, the challenges pilots face, the decisions they make, and the incredible skill and dedication it takes to keep us safe in the air.
It's like demystifying the whole profession. We often take for granted the expertise and professionalism of pilots, but when you hear those stories, it really makes you appreciate the complexity of what they do.
Absolutely. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about Captain James's aircraft-specific expertise. He has 4 books packed with 600 technical questions each. We're talking Airbus A320, Airbus 330, Boeing 737, and Boeing 777.
Wow, 600 questions per aircraft type. That's serious dedication.
Yeah,
It sounds like these are more than just study guides for pilots prepping for their exams.
exactly. They're designed to push pilots beyond the basics, to develop a deep understanding of the systems, operations, and nuances of these incredibly complex machines.
So for someone who's already interested in aviation, what's the real value here? What do these books offer that you wouldn't find in a standard pilot training manual?
It's about going beyond the what and into the why. Captain James doesn't just tell you how a system works. He explains the engineering principles behind it, the potential failure points, the troubleshooting techniques. It's the kind of knowledge that builds confidence and competence in the cockpit.
That makes sense. It's the difference between being able to follow procedure and truly understanding the aircraft inside and out.
Exactly. And that depth of knowledge can be the difference between handling an unexpected situation calmly and effectively or letting it escalate into something more serious. It's about being prepared for anything.
So we've covered his books on leadership, interview prep, and aircraft systems. What about his podcast? You mentioned SKYCALL earlier.
Yes, his SKYCALL podcast is a fantastic resource. It's like getting a backstage pass to the world of aviation.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, he covers a wide range of topics, but one that really stood out to me was his series on mastering the art of command. He takes all of his experience and distills it into practical advice for anyone in a leadership role.
Okay, so not just pilots, but anyone who's leading a team, managing a project, or making decisions that impact others. What kind of insights does he offer?
He talks about building trust, fostering open communication, delegating effectively, handling conflict, and making tough decisions under pressure. He doesn't shy away from the challenges of leadership, but he also emphasizes the rewards, the satisfaction of leading a team to success, of mentoring others, and of making a positive impact.
I like that he focuses on the positive aspects of leadership. It's not just about stress and pressure. It's about inspiring others, achieving goals together, and making a difference.
And he does it all with a genuine passion for aviation and a desire to share his knowledge with others.
It's inspiring, isn't it? He's not just a pilot. He's a mentor, an educator, and a true advocate for his profession.
Absolutely, but it's not just about aviation. It's about the pursuit of excellence in any field.
That's a really great point. The lessons we're gleaning from Captain James's career and his insights are applicable to so many different areas of life. It's about setting high standards, striving for continuous improvement, and never stopping learning.
And in part 3 of our deep dive, we'll delve even deeper into that theme of continuous learning. We'll explore how Captain James emphasizes the importance of staying curious, seeking out new knowledge, and embracing a growth mindset throughout your career.
Sounds fascinating. We'll be right back.
Okay, picking up where we left off, continuous learning. So this idea of continuous learning, it's really crucial in aviation.
It is. In aviation, as in so many fields, you can't just get your certifications and call it a day.
Nope.
The industry is constantly evolving, with new technology, procedures, and even global challenges impacting how we fly.
Captain James really embodies this idea of a lifelong learner. He doesn't just rely on his decades of experience. He's constantly seeking out new knowledge, refining his skills, and staying updated on the latest developments in the field.
What I find inspiring is how he weaves this commitment to learning into everything he does. It's not just about staying current, it's about a mindset of continuous improvement.
You see it in his meticulously researched books and his podcast. He's not just regurgitating old information. He's constantly integrating new insights, challenging his own assumptions, and evolving as a professional.
And that's a powerful message for all of us, whether we're pilots, aspiring aviators, or simply people who want to excel in our chosen fields. In today's world, resting on your laurels is a surefire way to fall behind.
He encourages pilots to go above and beyond the minimum requirements, to really delve into their aircraft systems, understand the why behind the what, and actively seek out opportunities for professional development.
He even has those aircraft-specific books we talked about earlier, packed with hundreds of technical questions that go way beyond the basics.
Those books aren't just about memorizing facts, though. They're about developing a deep understanding that allows pilots to anticipate challenges, troubleshoot problems, and make sound decisions even in unexpected situations.
It's the difference between knowing how to follow a checklist and truly mastering your craft.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating that expert intuition that can only come from years of dedicated learning and experience.
And that brings us to a key question for you, the listener. Thinking about your own field, your own aspirations, what does continuous learning look like for you?
It's a great question to ponder. Is it taking that extra course, attending industry conferences, reading books outside your immediate area of expertise?
Yeah.
Or is it about something as simple as actively seeking out feedback and being open to learning from your mistakes?
The key is to be proactive, to embrace that growth mindset, and to view learning not as a chore, but as an opportunity to expand your horizons and unlock your full potential.
Captain James shows us that continuous learning is not just about staying relevant. It's about fueling our passion, deepening our expertise, and ultimately finding greater fulfillment in what we do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Captain James, we hope you've gleaned some valuable insights, not just about aviation, but about leadership, communication, and the importance of continuous learning.
He's given us a glimpse into the cockpit, demystified the world of flying, and shared lessons that are applicable far beyond the realm of aviation.
We encourage you to explore his work further, whether it's through his books, his podcast, or his website.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop reaching for new heights.